I'm just sat here having a think about my computer game I'm designing and done an assembly to machine code. And we've got to the stage where I've got a little ship on the screen with a key take routine, move it all over the place, can scroll the landscape below the player. No attribute checking yet, no aliens on the screen. All just the basics. And just building the game up little by little, adding little blocks on at a time and getting it to how I want it. Now, I want the little spaceship to fire a bullet, a laser across the screen. And not just one, maybe up to three. That you can have 3 bullets on the screen. If one disappears, you can fire another one, but there's a maximum of 3 on the screen. Something like that, or a couple. Because they've all got to be managed and plotted and checked. And the more you put on, the more you've got to check, obviously. Now, in a lot of machine code sample games and routines I've come across the odd 1 or 2 fire routines. I've seen one that shoots the bullet straight up for a centipede game. And yes, you can alter it so it shoots in all the other directions simply enough. And I'm thinking, well, I think for my game and games to follow, we should have a machine code fragment module made up specifically for player firing a bullet, and the mechanics to go with it, all done in a fragment and a module, whereby you can fire up to 2 or 3 shots across the screen. They've all got hit detection. They can make them either travel the full length of the screen to the edge and then they stop, or you can do it as a ranged weapon and they only travel so far in front of the ship or wherever before they stop. Give the module some options for different types of firing. And also, the module can have you firing to the left, to the right, up and down. You can fire in all 4 directions. There's something assignable in the module. I want to use the up shooter, I want to use the left and right shooters. Use all 4. And the module does the plotting for you. You can put in your own user graphics for the bullets. Not just one character block, you could stack them up. Your vertical shooter would be 2 blocks high potentially. Could we have a player fire routine? It's a bit like the jetpack and Defender, where it shoots out single lines, coloured lines of lasers, and sort of in patterns. It's not one straight line, it's a number of them, and they sort of, you've seen Jetpack, haven't you? And it's a beautiful little laser on that. I would love to have that in the game, similar to the Defender. That's what I'd like. You could have that option, as well as like shooting a little P across, a little dot, or a little fuzzy line for a laser. If you get a weapons up, it'll just handle sprites for you and the hit detection in whatever directions you want to shoot. I'm going to have to start working on that kind of module. Get it to work as best as possible in a compact system. And because you've got the option of all direction firing, you can just tailor it for the game you're writing and not use, only use what you need to use out the module, and everything else just sits there. Or you could have a module, it's even more modular. You could just stick it like Lego bricks. I want a left fire and a right fire system putting together, and there's the building blocks for it. I want a system like that. So I'm going to start with the vertical fire system I saw in the Centipede game with its collision detection, no doubt. Get that running, and then try to make it move horizontal instead of vertical, and work it from there. If any of you people out there have got such routines for firing bullets and the like, I'd love to hear from you. Share a bit of code and get me up to speed with how to do these things. I know how to, the principle of putting a bullet across the screen and what's required in the detection. It's just I haven't got the code for it. So either get help from friends, or write myself, or lift one from a book, whatever. Need one putting together. And if your routine ends up in one of my games, well, yes, you'd be credited for it somehow, some way. Personal thanks from me, of course, and you can get a credit in the game. Or star in the game as one of the characters. I'll put a reference to you. Easter egg. Or something in the credits. But they're just toyish games we'll play. This isn't commercial level stuff. But if we're sharing code and ideas, that's good. That's good for our little community, isn't it? And keeping each other going with ideas and things. Learning. Very much at the learning curve. Right, so get your pens onto a postcard, and I need a 4-way shooting program up with 3 bullets on the screen with hit detection and explosions and scoring and all that shit that goes with it. It's fucking tall order, isn't it? But we are writing arcade games, aren't we? So we need to have a custom engine built that we can tailor specific to our games. So I've got oodles of ideas for stupid and silly games, and great ideas for new concepts of games, meshing 2 genres together or 2 types of games together that you probably wouldn't have thought of. I'd love doing that. Right, so got a bacon sandwich on the go here, and I'm going to get scribbling on the code and do some research into shooting bullets. Catch you later.